UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. The U.S. dollar has lost 85% of its value since the 1970s when the dollar decoupled from gold, and the government seems bent on continuing the tradition. From now until after the next elections, the government can print as much money as they want. The last time they did that, folks, inflation went up 9%. This means one thing: the security of your future and your family's future is all in your hands. Make sure you freeze the value of your wealth you are holding. Invest in gold with Noble Gold Investments. Gold is the one asset that is proven to withstand recession, inflation, and just about all economic threats. Noble Gold Investments is here to help you if you want to invest in gold. You will also get a 24-karat quarter-ounce gold standard coin for free. Folks, go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Tell them you heard it on L.A. Marzulli's show. We believe in it. We've invested a portion of our life savings in gold, and boy, folks, I am glad we did. Thanks so much for watching our weekly UFO update. If you've had a UFO experience, if you've seen something, if you've got good footage of one, please shoot me an email, ufos@lamarzulli.net. That's ufo@lamarzulli.net, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So these are two interesting stories that came across my desk. The first one is by Representative Tim Burchett, and this is really interesting. He sits on the House Oversight Committee, which is involved in UFO hearings. Now, we've also, according to a friend of mine, they are aware of what I do, of my research, and we are trying to get in there and tell our side of the story. Last week on Joe Rogan's show, they had taken our UFO film, specifically that Dr. Roger Lear took. Now, granted, we don't have exclusive rights to that, but some guy was on Joe Rogan's show talking about the Kumburgaz UFO footage. What can I tell you? That's how the game is played. Bully for him. But we interviewed Dr. Lear, and we broke that story, and that was in our Watchers series. So, you know what? That's how the game is played, like I just said earlier. But I'd love to get on Joe Rogan's show and really give him the inside scoop, because we've got it. And that man, with all due respect to him, certainly does not. So this is what Congressman Tim Burchett says. He has a grim take after access to UFO footage. We can't handle it. So once again, it's fear, 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 fear. And I do agree with Stephen Greer and some of his assessments of what's going on in the government. They are painting this in a very grim sort of way. And that's the headline: Congressman has grim take after access to UFO footage. We can't handle it. Well, and I understand that. It'd be interesting to understand what he knows, and then why is he going public with it? So once again, it's fear, fear, fear. But as we get into our cattle mutilation, which is number 6, and we're in post-production, we're wrapping this thing up. I did my clothes, by the way. I've got the titles and everything else, and we're working on the credits, and all this is rolling right along, which is really exciting. We are doing a pre-sale of that like we always do, so go to the website, lamarzulli.net. But the fear factor in that cattle mutilation film, it's unbelievable, because they drop the cow right back in the farmer's field. It has drained the blood, it is mutilated, it's animal cruelty, there's no doubt about that. The farmer looks at it and he's going like, wow, who did this? There's no footprints around it. Once again, the animal has drained the blood. He's freaked out. He comes and he brings his wife out and his kids, and they all look at it. Now they're afraid. So the veterinarian comes out, he looks at it, once again, he's afraid. The sheriff comes out. Fear, fear, fear. The reporter comes out, does a story on it, takes some pictures. It's in the local paper. It's an ever-expanding circle of fear. The currency of the kingdom of darkness is one of fear. That's what this is all about. There's nothing happy about it. There's nothing good about it. So we see fear as the calling card of the kingdom of the enemy. There's no doubt about that, the kingdom of the dragon. So there's another one, story that came across my desk. Exclusive crashed UFO recovered by the U.S. military distorted space and time, leaving one investigator nauseous and disoriented. Where have we heard this before? Well, we've definitely heard this when people are in crop circles. They can become disoriented, they can have missing time, they can become nauseous. When people are taken aboard UFOs, the same thing happens. When this gentleman went in and discovered it was much larger inside than out, the attorney for the whistleblowers revealed. So lawyer Daniel Sheehan, and he's been all over the place on lots of UFO documentaries, tells DailyMail.com that a whistleblower told him of a crashed UFO recovered by the U.S. military that distorted space and time. Well, we know that they do this because when that craft is being pulled, so let's say here's the craft. Okay, in fact, I'll use a little prop. So here's the UFO like this. So in front of it is a gravity wave. How do we know this? Bob Lazar. So the craft is being pulled like this. There's a gravity wave. That gravity wave bends space and time. When these entities appear in your room, and you don't want to see that, by the way, they manipulate space, time, matter, and energy. You're levitated off the bed, you're floated through the window. That's a different physics than we know anything about. So they had a guy, according to Sheehan, they had a guy go into the craft and it was the size of a football stadium, while the outside was only about 30 feet in diameter. How is that possible? How is it possible? It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Is it a screen memory that was implanted? I don't know. So the UFO phenomenon, the bottom line is this, it's not going away, is it? It's not going away. And this is why we do this weekly update, because it's important. It's important to understand that this is, in my opinion, the coming great deception. Because when they show up, when we finally have the top rung on the disclosure ladder, the first run being Commander David Fravor, 2017, on Tucker Carlson's show. That started it all. When Fravor, and they're showing that tic-tac shaped object, right, caught in the gun sights of the F-18. What was this? Tucker asked Commander David Fravor. Fravor looks right at the camera. Whatever this was not from this earth. It wasn't the Russians. It wasn't the Chi-Coms. It was something different. When it moved, it shot away like a bullet out of a gun. Folks, when we have full disclosure, the top rung on the ladder of disclosure, that's when the game changes completely. There's also been a lot of stuff across my desk lately about Project Bluebeam, a false alien invasion. Is that possible? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we report on this every Wednesday. I will be at the Go Therefore conference. I will be speaking exclusively on Friday night. I only get one hour, but because I'm last, I'm going to go longer, and I have permission to do that. I will be talking about the ladders, the rungs on the ladder of disclosure, where we are, what's going on, and I also should be showing you what I think are some very interesting videos that we took while at Roswell, New Mexico, and I think you'll find that interesting. You can get all 5 in our 5-box set by going to lamarzulli.net. That's lamarzulli.net, and you can procure all 5 of them, and I would encourage you to do that and get your family together, sit them down, and show them the films. These films are educational. They really are. They will show you that the UFO phenomena is here to stay. This is the coming great deception. I've been warning about it, talking about it for decades. It's here now. Anyway, folks, the Go Therefore conference, and then again at Pastor Larry Olson's church in middle of August. Hope to see you. Please register for both of those conferences. Hope to see you there. We are nearing 200,000 subscribers. Thanks so much for your support of what we do. Remember, folks, UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. Thanks for watching.